Hello, guys. I'm back, and we're talking about what it means to remain in the vine. We've been looking at a number of characteristics of those who remain in the vine. Those who remain in the vine don't understand fear. Fear runs from them. They live confidently. Those who remain in the vine have a lot of joy. Those who remain in the vine have place for other people and other branches, as Jesus said, that you're not the only branch. There are other branches in the vine, so they understand corporateness. But there's one other characteristic that we read here. John 15:12-13, it says, here's another characteristic of those who are abiding in the vine. He says this, my command is this. He's just told you that there is joy in obeying his commands. He's told you want to find joy. It's not found in circumstances. It's found in obeying the commands of God. He says this, my command is this. Love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Love one another. You see, that's the characteristic of those who abide in the vine. They love the other branches. They cheer the other branches on and say, go, man, we're right beside you. We're growing here with you. We're not going anywhere. We're going to support you. We're going to encourage you. We're going to just love you. Jesus, in that Last Supper time, he says, by this shall all men know that you are my disciples if you what? If you love one another. He doesn't say if you sing well in the choir, or if you tithe and do all those things, which are all very good things to be doing. But he says the greatest testimony to the world is that you just love one another. Sadly, I have to say this, people, and I say it with kindness, as much kindness as I can, we're not a great testimony very often. We sit in our little groups and we backbite and we criticize and we judge one another. I've got to say, it's an unkind place to be. Coffee corners are full of people or Christians who are talking about other people in the church, and in the pretense they'll say, well, I'm only telling you this so that you can pray for them. No, you're not. No, you're not. When you say that, that's the biggest cover-up and biggest lie that there is. You're not saying this so that the person will pray for them. You just go and pray for them yourself. You're telling them this because this tastes good on your tongue. But I've got to tell you, when it gets down to the stomach, it turns putrid in you. I'm speaking strongly about this today. People, stop it. Stop whining and moaning, criticizing and judging other people and their actions. Look at yourself. Think of that verse that Jesus says. Why do you try to take the speck out of some of the guy's eye where you've got a darn log in your own? Get rid of the log first and then have a look at the others, and you'll understand from a completely different point of view. Love one another. Protect one another. Protect one another's reputations. When somebody's messed up, oh man, there's something inside of us that, oh wow, I can get some mileage out of this one. That is so ugly. That is so ugly. Love one another by protecting one another's reputations, by protecting the speech that you hear. If you see somebody bad-mouthing or hear somebody bad-mouthing a Christian, for goodness sake, stop them and say, no, you and me need to have a conversation. What you've just said is not cool. What you've just said is not right. Stop those little car park talk things and those little coffee corner conversations. Let the words of your mouth be an encouragement to others. When you find joy in bringing people down, there's something wrong with you. Make sure that our conversation speaks to building people up, encouraging people, and I think that's a great thing to do. The world is looking, people. They don't need more sermons, although we preach a lot of those, don't we? The world doesn't need a whole lot of other more legalistic aspects. The world needs to see Christians loving one another. The greatest testimony to the world is this, that you love one another. And when you're abiding in Christ and his love is abiding in you, it'll be the most natural outworking of this love toward one another. The reason we don't love one another sometimes is because we don't love God enough. If we love God more, then this would stop and we would love one another a whole bunch more. I hope that becomes a portion for your life. I hope that becomes a reality for all of us today as we love one another. It's one of the commands. It's not an optional. We got to love one another. That means You're even going to love me, if that's possible. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye, people.